Hi, everyone, and welcome to Workshop 3. If you haven't watched Workshop 1, in which I covered the CBT cycle, how your thoughts link to your emotions and behaviors, please go back and watch it. And then Workshop 2 was all about your thinking patterns, how to build awareness around your thinking patterns, challenge, change, reframe, and distance yourself from your thought patterns. And now we're going to look at emotions. Okay, so we've covered how your thoughts link to your emotions and your behaviors. And we've covered a few tools to deal with your thinking patterns. And now we're going to look at your emotions. Okay. Emotions are just energy in motion, literally just energy going through your body. And you need to feel your emotions in order to release them and process them. And within that CBT cycle, your thoughts create your feelings lead, drive what you do. Your behaviors are what you do with your emotions, and you are trying to distract, numb, or avoid your emotions instead of feeling them and releasing them. And you have to accept that part of being human is feeling uncomfortable emotions as well. You can't you can't expect to just never have difficult emotions. And the thing that pushes people to avoid, numb, distract is that emotions can be painful, whether that's heartbreak or grief, and they will just get stuck in your body and cause disease, inflammation, high blood pressure, loads of different negative outcomes if you don't learn how to process your emotions. So, if you struggle to catch your thoughts, sometimes a really good place to start is starting with your feelings. So if you notice that you're feeling a certain way, and if you're not good at dropping into your body and checking in with yourself, you can do it now or do it another morning. How am I feeling right now in my life, in my body, or a situation that happened? What am I feeling right now as a result of this situation? Whether that's a breakup, whether that's something that happened at work, moving house, a housemate moving out, anything. What am I feeling right now? And then you can kind of ask yourself, oh, what happened before this? Let's say a housemate that you've been living with for a couple of years decides to move out. And you might feel really like heartbroken that someone is moving out of the house that you're friends with for a long time. And you might feel, oh, like really just like upset about it. Um, Now, you might just be upset because you're not going to be living together anymore. But if you work backwards, was there any thought patterns that led to how you're feeling? Did you think, oh my God, is that because of me? Or am I not a nice person to live with? Or have I been annoying her? Or not even anything to do with that. You might start thinking, oh my God, like it is a time for me to move out and get my own place. Or if that person is moving out and getting a place with their boyfriend and you're single, you might be thinking, is that ever going to happen for me? Or am I just going to always be living in this house renting with other people single? Anything like that. So sometimes we have feelings and there's no reason for them, and that's okay too. But just check, if you're feeling a certain way, has there been any thought pattern that led to how you were feeling? And then you can kind of catch, oh God, I was catastrophizing there, or, some of the thought patterns I went through in the last workshop. So again, if you were dating someone and they didn't reply, then you start to feel rejected. What's the thought pattern underneath that? Oh, I knew they didn't like me in the first place. That's an unhelpful thought pattern. That's just an example. But sometimes we do have feelings that just come from nowhere. And I want to explain the difference between cognitive and somatic anxiety. Cognitive just being thinking or mind related, somatic just being feeling or body related. So cognitive anxiety is when your thoughts are spiraling, and somatic is those body sensations, that racing heart, fast breathing, tight chest, etc. And you cannot think your way out of a bodily based problem. And because your thoughts fuel your physical feelings, and then those feelings reinforce your thought, then that's that struggle cycle again. So, if I'm to ask you right now, how are you feeling? Sometimes people struggle to label their emotions. Like, apart from happy or sad. There are so many different types of emotions apart from happy or sad. Lonely, hopeless, um, excited, enthusiastic, hopeful, optimistic, loads of different emotions. But if you struggle to label emotions, then we can do something called physicalizing. And I'll go through that in a second. But a lot of the time, the reason that you're unable to label your emotions is because you are so disconnected from your body or so numb to feelings because you're in this fight or flight mode or a freeze state. These are all dysregulated nervous system states. So when you struggle to label an emotion, then try to just locate it. Locate what you're feeling. So I just asked you, how are you feeling in your body now? And if you can't think of the label you need for the emotion, where can you feel something in your body? Can you feel something in your chest? Have you a tight chest? Have you an uneasy stomach? Does your throat feel blocked? What does your body feel like? And is there any particular area where you might feel more heaviness, more sensations, more tightness, tingling, anything like that? Is it light? Is it heavy? Is it buzzing? Is there pressure? Is there pain? This is a really good way to help you build awareness around what you're feeling in your body. Okay? And so what I want you to do is close down your eyes. And again, what are you feeling in your body? Just see, is there anywhere in your body that's sticking out to you with a pulsing or tightness or pain, even temperature? Is there somewhere that's hotter or colder? So locate the feeling. And I want you to take a slow, deep breath into that area. Into that area. Now a long, slow exhale. And I just want you to breathe into that space where that pain or pressure or heaviness is. And slowly breathe out again. All we're doing here is building awareness around sensations and feelings in your body. We're not actually trying to change anything at all right now. This is just awareness. Do 2 more breaths. One more, breathing into that space, a longer, deeper, fuller breath into that space. And then a long, slow exhale out of that space. And then you can gently open your eyes. So all we are doing there is actually just exploring where and what you feel in your body. And if you can't label an emotion, we were doing it with a feeling or a sensation. And emotions need to be felt in order to be processed. Because if you do not do that, you suppress them, you push them down, you drink to try and numb them, but they're still there. And with anxiety, there is this kind of attempt to control life or situations, even people. And as long as you try to control things that are uncertain, then your anxiety is only going to get worse. Because life in itself is uncertain. So when you spend a lot of time trying to predict what might happen or control an outcome, it's wasted energy because you cannot control other people, whether that's their mind, their actions, their behaviors. You cannot control life outcomes. You can only control your internal world. So trying to control everything or living in anxious thoughts and feelings about a situation that might not ever happen and has not happened just makes your anxiety worse. So learning to tolerate emotion will actually reduce your anxiety. Learning to sit with uncomfortable feelings, sensations. That's why I was just bringing a little bit of awareness there to your body, where you're learning, okay, I feel like tightness or heaviness in my shoulder or my chest. The emotion that might be underneath that is anxiety or insecurity, low self-worth. You might even have anger in your body. But what I'm helping you do there is just bring awareness to feelings in your body to show you that you are able to tolerate those emotions. You are able to tolerate difficult, painful emotions, but you have to learn how to sit with them. And you can label what you're feeling as well instead of trying to hide it. Okay, this is a sadness. This is a feeling of sadness. This is what it feels like in my body when I have that heavy stomach or that back pain. Oh, that's sadness coming, or that's anxiety coming. That's learning how to label your emotions. And if you sit and allow your emotions, like we just did, they will pass. And you can also regulate your emotions and process them. I was just bringing awareness to them there and physicalizing, so helping you feel where they are and how it felt. We didn't actually process them and regulate, which is what we would usually do with breathwork and actual regulation tools. But when you learn how to sit with your emotions, they will pass if they're not fed by your thought. So remember, in that CBT cycle, your thoughts lead into how you feel, and your behaviors are what you do with what you feel. And whatever behavior you have is only going to reinforce that thought pattern. So when you get emotions like when you start to feel low self-worth, he didn't reply, you feel rejected, okay? You feel heavy, painful rejection. And when you don't allow that rejection or process that emotion, it does fuel the thoughts. I knew I wasn't good enough anyway. I'll never have a partner. I'm a loser, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So you need to learn how to sit with your emotions, because you are able to sit with the discomfort. And I do a lot of acceptance and commitment therapy with my clients, which is a lot of it is about sitting with uncomfortable emotions and learning how to get better at tolerating them, learning that, it isn't the end of the world. We all need to feel painful emotions, but you will get through them, and you will learn how to regulate those emotions, as well as not only just identifying and bringing awareness to them, but how to actually regulate them and release them so they're not building up in your body to the point where you feel like you're going to actually lose it, or you need to have a massive blowout with booze, or you snap at someone. That's all those emotions and energy built up in your body. So I hope this workshop helped. The next workshop will be on actions and behaviors. And again, any questions or comments, I'd love to actually hear your feedback as well. Please let me know in the comments or DM or email or inside the hub. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.